Are you someone who's planning to write IELTS and is doing self-preparation? Well, if that is the case, then this video is definitely meant for you. But before I speak about self-preparation, let me introduce myself. I'm Prasadita, one of the trainers at Medcity International Academy. And in this video, I'm going to give you a few suggestions that I think would help you to prepare yourself for IELTS so that you can get a score of 6.5 or more. The most important aspect in self-preparation is to have confidence. Believe in yourself. If you firmly believe that I can do it, then you are in the right track of self-preparation. For after all, having the right attitude matters a lot. Attitude is only one part of self-preparation. The other solely depends on how you prepare yourself for the exam. But I would suggest, before you actually think about writing IELTS, know quite well about what IELTS is. You should perhaps try to find out the pattern of IELTS examination. Once you do that, you will realize that there are 4 modules, namely listening, reading, writing and speaking. Try to get as much information about these modules as you can. And after that, the most important thing that you can do is practice. Practice is of utmost importance in IELTS. That's the only way you can tackle the challenging aspect of time management. So how can you practice? Well, if you want to practice listening, maybe you can go to YouTube and search for IELTS listening videos. To be more precise, if you want to listen to the kind of listening tasks that is given in IELTS, you can search for Cambridge texts, which will be available in YouTube. Cambridge texts most often have 4 tests in them, and as of right now there are 13 listening Cambridge texts available in YouTube, so you can refer them and you can practice listening to those videos, and you can definitely look at all the questions that is displayed in the video and answer the questions. Another advantage of listening to that particular video is that at the very end you will also have the answers, so you don't have to search around for the answers. Now that you know how to practice listening, let me ask you this. How can you improve your listening skills? Well, some of the ways in which you can better your listening ability is by watching English videos. You can watch English movies, English television series, English music videos, and even listen to English news channels. This will tremendously help you to identify the way in which native English speakers speak. More than that, this will also give you an added advantage, because by listening you can improve your speaking as well. Another thing that I would like to point out is, when you are actually watching these English programs or English videos, sometimes most of these videos would have subtitles. I understand that most often we are tempted to read the subtitles, but if you want to improve on your listening, you should actually not read the subtitles. In order to practice reading, you can employ the same tactic that you've used for listening. If you go online, there are plenty of reading materials available. To be more precise, if you want Cambridge texts are available, and in every Cambridge text you'll have 4 tests. So you can practice reading online. Other than that, plenty of reading materials are also available in printed form. Maybe you can purchase it and practice doing reading. But mind you, when you practice reading, you should time yourself, because in IELTS, reading module happens in 1 hour. Initially, you may find it a little difficult to finish 3 passages within 1 hour. But as you progress day by day, you will definitely find it easier. So don't worry about that. Now, coming to how you can improve your reading. During the period in which you are preparing yourself for IELTS, I would suggest that you try to read as much English articles as possible. It can be an English novel, it can be an article from a newspaper, English newspaper, and it can also be a particular article from a magazine or a journal, or even from your educational textbooks. In the initial days when you start reading, I would perhaps suggest that you allow yourself the liberty to finish reading one particular page in about 15 minutes. But as you progress in your reading day by day, the time should cut down to maybe 11 minutes, 10 minutes, and finally to as quickly as you can. Now, coming to the writing module, there are plenty of samples of essays and reports and letters given online. You should refer them, because that will definitely give you ideas. Other than that, it will also help you to understand how you should and how you shouldn't write for IELTS. So once you know how to write, you should definitely start to pen down your ideas. Don't wait for anyone, just start writing down. But unlike in reading and listening module, where you can get an answer from online, there is no ready-made answer available when you write. So your writing should be assessed, if possible, by your own teachers. Come on, they're your teachers, so they will definitely take at least a little bit of time to help you out. With regard to the speaking module, there are plenty of IELTS speaking session samples available online. Go to YouTube. You can actually find videos of demo of IELTS speaking module. Alright, that will definitely help you out. It will give you an idea of how speaking test happens in IELTS. Other than that, I would also say that there are plenty of speaking questions given online. So perhaps you should have a look at all those questions and then try to prepare yourself as to how to answer to those questions. One way to improve your speaking ability in English is to constantly speak in English with your friends and with your family. That way, there will be a two-way communication. But if that is not possible, what I would suggest is go in front of the mirror. Speak to yourself. When you do that, there are two things that you can get as an advantage. One is you will definitely build confidence in yourself. The other thing is when you're speaking in front of a mirror, you can also observe your body language. So that's an added advantage, isn't it? Another thing that you can do is you can speak on a particular topic and try to record it. Nowadays, almost all mobile phones would have a voice recording app. So I suggest you try it out. Say something, maybe like in the cue card section, you can speak continuously for 2 minutes on a particular topic and then you can record it. So later on, you can listen to your recording and try to check yourself as to where you have made mistakes or where you can perhaps improve. Since you are preparing by yourself, I would also suggest that perhaps you should visit the webpage of Medcity International Academy. We have put up plenty of questions, plenty of videos which could give you tips and suggestions as to how to tackle IELTS. So have a look at it and feel free to ask any doubts if you have. Thank you.